What is going on, everyone? My name is Boyd and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the left side of the map in the blue color, playing as Set. His name is Skady. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Odin. His name is GrandMonster. The map is Marsh. It's currently 1-0 for Skady in this best of 5 series here. Skady taking that first game with a nice Zeus rush, deciding to change things up in this second game here, going with the Set. Set, a really, really underrated but super strong god on Marsh. I think a lot of the Norse players have been blessed by people playing Ra recently. They've forgotten the amount of the terrifying nature of Set on Marsh. Set can go for Anubis here and cause a lot of havoc with those Anubite raids. Follow that up with an Ancestors or even with an Ancestors, I guess, push, and follow that up with then Horus or Thoth in the end. If you get Thoth in the end of the game with Phoenix, follow that up. How does the Norse player stop that? Even with Axe of Muspel, you need a lot of throwing axemen to deal with that. And then you're dealing with all the animals of Set as well coming at you with all of the spearmen and Nubites, etc., etc. So we'll see what Skady's going to do here. The other option, obviously, is just go through Dart, grab second town center, and classic fight it. Cause a lot of pressure for the Norse and see what you can do. But GrandMonster just going to be grabbing all the pigs in the middle of the map. Looks like Skady kind of missed out on a lot of them. But maybe he'll be able to shifting sands them back home. He's only actually found 4 pigs here. Currently grabbing his hunt in the front with his priest. And that's going to be fantastic for him. Let's check out how the town center looks over here. Not really a lot on this town center, though. He does have a gold mine and a wood line. And for Set, it doesn't really matter that much. It doesn't really matter that much for Set about where his second town center is, because he can just bring Hunt there. He gets the free Hunt from the temple, and then he can just bring Hunt to his other town center if he needs to. And then he can also create Hunt out of his Pharaoh, which is an underutilized tactic as well, but definitely still very, very good. And now Skady getting this temple up as he's trying to get to the next age. We'll see GrandMonster throwing his own temple up. Let's see what GrandMonster wants to try here against Skady. Villagers jumping into the town center. Oxcart coming out as well. The Raven's going to be flying around looking for something to do here. Relics on the map. We do have a Black Lotus. Very, very strong relic. Little bit of a backstory. This relic gives you exactly the same stats as Sacred Cats. So essentially you don't want to... Well, you do want to get it, but for Egyptian, for example, you want to get irrigation as fast as possible with Black Lotus, because then that relic gives you a ton of bonus. Otherwise, it doesn't actually give you anything on the plow level. For every other civilization, I think it gives you a big bonus every single tier, or a small bonus every single tier. But yes, that's the thing. We've also got the toothed arrows here, 5% extra Archer, Ballista, Carabuster, Pierce damage. And at the top of the map, we've got the Ship of the Fingernails. No relics have really been picked up yet, so we'll see if any of those do get up. And we do see Skady throwing up his wall here, his box over here. So we'll see if that's going to matter or not. It's going to be using that to shifting sand some units in here, and we've already got him with animals on these town centers. This is one of the big advantages of Set over, say, Ra in this matchup, is these animals. He can scout out the town center, and if an Odin player wants to go for a fast second town center, I'll tell you what, those units are getting shifting sands into this box straight away. It's opposed to Ra, who's never going to be able to spot that with the lack of line of sight. Now we have a vision coming in onto this location. We'll check out what Skady can see here. He sees the entirety of this base, the villagers retreating back in. He could jump onto this location here if he so chooses, but we do see the barracks coming up for Skady now. So going for a very heavy classical fight. I like that shifting sands as well, but he misses the box just a little bit. This Ursa should probably... I mean, both the units die, but now at this point you have to ask, 5 HP. You're the great escape. Pick up the relic. Grab the relic and go. Oh, the villager coming up. No, I'm gonna hit it. I was going to say at this point, why build the box? Just put the shifting sands here or something. It's not going to be able to escape. Now we see Skady making a push forward. GrandMonster is relatively comfortable in this situation because he's we'll see the Herso falling here, but GrandMonster should be relatively comfortable in this situation because this is essentially exactly how Set would play this matchup on Vanilla, where he's very well seasoned. We just see the Valkyrie coming in, going to be losing her life though incredibly fast as the Pharaoh does manage to snipe that one with its 14.4 damage. Nice play here by Skady. Now we can push over here, push off this hunt. There is 2 hippos that are inside the wall here for GrandMonster though, and these units are simply just going to retreating away and probably not going to lose a villager, though maybe will. Looks like the Pharaoh and the Wadge are doing a lot of damage. We don't see that upgrade hand to the Pharaoh though, and the villager does fall even without it. Just to show you how strong that Pharaoh was before the nerf. Now villagers coming in. Gonna grab these hippopotamus, bring it over to the ox carts. We see Skady gonna tear down this sentry tower, which is a big sentry tower to kill. He is making mostly spearmen and has already upgraded to medium spearmen here as he's gonna tear down the sentry tower. Possibly can break down this house as well and push in to GrandMonster's base. And this is kind of a forward gold mine here for GrandMonster, and I don't see GrandMonster getting watchtowers here, which is the counter, or at least the first step to defending against a classical fight Egyptian play. Got to get those watchtowers up. Got a wall segment around the towers. Got to play nice, safe, and defensive. Get a fast, heroic time, and then once you get there, you're in a good position to take the game. Well, we do see the house falling nonetheless. And that's going to be an opportunity for Skady to push in here. As he's got his slingers popping out, he's got spearmen popping out, everything coming out in the right order. Look at the population advantage here, 77 to 62. The spearmen taking down the raiding cavalry. The slingers in the back here, ready to take down some of those throwing axemen, but GrandMonster not popping them out of the longhouse until he deals with those slingers. It looks like he does manage to come in, snipe the Pharaoh, snipe the Wadget, though there's just so many blue units here for Skady. And now the throwing axemen coming out, and Skady's going to immediately start sniping those with the slingers. They do so much bonus damage here. Idle raiding cavalry over here as Skady is trying to push through. The slinger micro is so good to target down those throwing axemen, attempting to finish this game off incredibly quickly. More spearmen coming in, but Skady's population slowly starting to drop here as it's looking like GrandMonster might be able to hold. No, it's mostly just cavalry remaining. Lots of low HP cavalry though, which is kind of huge because he is Odin, and GrandMonster should basically just pull back and let those re-heal, but he's trying to push forward. We've got a priest out as well for Skady in anticipation for Valkyrie. And now we see the raiding cavalry going to be making a move, not allowing them to heal back up, and that might be a little bit of a mistake. Slingers now moving in, going to try and snipe off a throwing axeman, and he will be able to snipe that throwing axeman there as the raiding cavalry coming in as well. Nice ignoring there on that raiding cavalry, going straight after the other throwing axe. And the big thing about spearmen, we've talked about this before, as opposed to a hoplite, is they have 5.0 speed. 5.0 speed, so they can kind of chase the raiding cavalry a little bit and pick them off, and he does manage to pick off quite a few of them, as every time he jabs, the raiding cavalry will get away now, but every time they jab, they slow down, and therefore they can chase, and we see more of these throwing axemen are getting picked off, and Skady is just having complete control in this game over GrandMonster, who is kind of misplaced his longhouse in a way that his units are going to just pop out into the fight, and that's going to basically mean that Skady can snipe them as soon as they are created here. Now Skady going after the throwing axemen here. The villagers getting pulled off the gold mine. 200 gold left in on this gold mine. Skady going to be taking a lot of damage from the town center. The spearmen only have 20% pierce armor, so they take a lot of damage from the town center. But we are seeing more and more of these throwing axemen getting sniped. Skady's micro just off the chains good right now as GrandMonster has finally gotten himself watchtowers. The dwarf's going to come back, but is it too little too late? We have seen that GrandMonster has snuck this hippopotamus up the top. So that's going to be really good for him to keep going here. But where's he going to go to get gold? If he comes up the top, Skady's going to know about it. If he comes over here, Skady's going to know about it. Though he doesn't actually have anything up there at this time. He just realizes that once the dwarves leave this location, it should be okay. Now we're going to see the spears going to attempt to come over here and kill this watchtower. This may be a little bit of an overextension. He's taking damage from the town center. This gold mine almost expired. The extra 100 gold here probably not going to matter all too much. We do see that the tower is going to fall though. And then the slingers coming, and then Rainy Cavalry coming on top of the slingers. More throwing action coming here. Nice micro from Skady yet again, pulling the spearmen in between the slingers there to deal with those raiders. And the slingers will be able to kill off all of these throwing axemen as well. Wouldn't be surprised to see Skady attempt to go to the heroic age here either, now that the gold mine is gone. We'll check out if he's still building units. He's still building units from two of those bags. Hasn't actually finished his monument to the soldiers. He tried to throw it up at a point here, but decided against finishing it for some reason. Now the dwarves are going to probably make their way up to this gold mine here. The village is getting pulled away from here. We'll see if there's a path block going to be able to happen. Maybe one villager going to get picked off. Yes, he does kill one. The rest going to move past the tower. And some more units going GrandMonster's way here. As the town center and watchtower is doing some damage. But Skady's still pumping out units here. As we see him starting to send some up to the top side of the map, realizing that's kind of the only place where GrandMonster can be gathering food from, and he does spot the food. Does he know about this though? He does know there's a gold mine here. He knows there's gold everywhere, and he sees the dwarves here as well. And Skady's simply just going to send all of his spearmen here. He splits the slingers up. Going to try and snipe an Olfsark here. Nice micro from GrandMonster to avoid that one there. The spearmen coming in. The villagers pulled off of the gold mine here. Going to be attempting to fight this. We do see a forest fire here, but that's not going to be enough, and GrandMonster does decide to tap out here in the 11-minute mark. Yet again, Skady wins with another beautifully executed rush here. The pressure onto the Norse of GrandMonster just too much for him to deal with. And he doesn't end up being able to survive in this game. GrandMonster needed to wall segment his towers against every single Egyptian. You still need to play defensively in this location as Norse, because if you do, they're not going to do all that much damage with that classical fight. Classical fighting is really, really fun for the Egyptian player because they have all of that spammage early, so you can come in and be really aggressive when they aren't really supposed to be an aggressive Sith. But if you can shut it down, it's more of an advantage for the Norse player if the classical fight gets shut down. But GrandMonster not able to do this in this game, and Skady is now on match point here, up 2-0 in this best of 5. One more win, and he goes on to the finals here. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.